What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Universal Teas. It's the People's Podcast, and this is your girl, Toya. This is episode 15, and it's also the last episode of what's going to be season 1 of this podcast, and I'm excited to have y'all here. So this episode is called Ready for Whatever. Okay? Because if you have been rocking with me and you've listened to all the episodes, even if you haven't, if you listen to one or two and you've taken the advice from me and my Facebook friends and family, you are ready for whatever, right? And the reason that I'm ending the season here is because I feel like when we get lessons, you know what I mean? It's just like when you go to school, you have to have time to apply the things that you have learned, right? So that's one of the reasons that I'm taking a little bit of a break and ending it here. But another reason is because there's bigger things that I'm working on, right? So I want this to be bigger and better, and I want us all to benefit from it as much as we can. So in an effort to reach as many people as possible, I'm going to be working on some other things. So when we come back, because, this is the People's Podcast. It's not my podcast. It's ours. So when I come back, I want us to be able to reach as many people and have more friends join the conversation. Okay. Also, this episode is just going to be a reflection. I'm literally going to go through what each of the other 14 episodes, what we talked about a little bit, and just sort of get some of you all's insight. If you've joined me before, I would love for you to chime in and talk about like moments that you remember. But if not, I'd love for you to add to the conversation that we're having right now. One point that I do want to make is like this whole podcast journey is literally like surreal, right? Of course, I'm not like a big, huge person. My podcast don't got 1 million views. I'd be lucky to get 15 people on here on live with me. But I've definitely felt a sense of pride for stepping out and doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I was so afraid. And I talked about this in one of my episodes a long time ago because I started back in like the summer, maybe like May or June. I don't know the exact date. But I told my people, like, I had all of this podcast equipment for like a whole year before I ever pressed record, right? And I did that, and I was afraid to put myself out there and put myself on a platform, because when you're on a platform, you're opening yourself up to judgment from whoever, right? And so this is something that I felt like was my baby. And so putting myself out there for the world to judge my baby, it's scary. So I just really want to shout myself out for taking that leap of faith, but I couldn't have done it without like my friends and my family. And it's crazy because now, reflecting 14 episodes later, there's plenty people literally every day that are like, oh, you got a podcast? Oh, I heard about your podcast. You do a podcast? You're dope, like this, that, and the other. And it's like I never would have gotten to that point if I didn't step outside of fear. Right? And the basis of my podcast, because I have a lot of new people on here. Hey y'all, hey Terry, hey Washington. I think Simmons is still on here, but I've had so many people push. Wait, what was I talking about? Y'all, okay, if y'all knew, I forget what I'm talking about mid conversation all the time. But yeah, like I was saying, I had a lot of people to sort of like push me and motivate me and help me to step outside my comfort zone. Like every episode wasn't popping. You feel me? Right now I have 5 people on here. There's been times I've been on here and it been me and 2 other people. You feel me? And so I feel like I want to encourage other people to do what it is that you want to do. You feel me? Don't let society tell you what you can and can't do. Don't let society tell you that if something isn't making you money, you shouldn't be doing it. You feel me? Like I read a quote, I think it was today, on my like Facebook memories. You know when you have like the embarrassing memories that come up on your Facebook, and one of them was from Maya Angelou, and it was basically saying like, don't chase money, right? You're never gonna feel fulfilled. I feel like in life we're looking to be happy, we're looking to be free, we're looking to feel like we're worth it. But you're never gonna find your worth chasing a dollar. You're never gonna find your worth chasing fame, chasing fortune. You gotta chase purpose. You gotta chase destiny. You gotta chase God. You gotta chase what it is that you're here to do. You feel me? And I feel like stepping into this has been the first. It's a really little step for me. But stepping into just podcasting was me not chasing money. I wouldn't give a damn if I never got paid for podcasting. Of course, I have dreams of, you know what I mean, having a number one podcast in America. You feel me? But that's not my why. That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because there's people out there who I know, who I don't know, who someone might share this video and they hear it, that's going to benefit from the shit that I'm talking about. You feel me? And I've seen that. Small things. Like, I got people texting me that I haven't heard from in years. You feel me? Hitting me up like, yo, this whole Universal Teas thing. And I mean gangsters, okay? I mean gangsters hitting me up. I'm not just talking about my coworkers or, you know what I'm saying, the people that I know from college. I mean, like, real hood niggas hitting me up like, yo, whatever this Universal Teas is you got going, the shit dope. Okay? I listened to an episode and I felt different. You know what I mean? And that's what I do it for. I wouldn't give a damn if anybody shouted me out, but I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like when you're authentic, when you're genuine, when you're living in your purpose, that's when you find happiness. That's when you feel most fulfilled. You feel me? Do y'all agree? Do y'all disagree? Let me know. Also, if you've never been here, I don't like talking to myself. I want y'all to put in the chat how you feel. Give me a yes. Give me a what's good. You feel me? Corwin in the building. What's good? Right. Season finale. We out here. Real hood niggas. You feel me? And I feel like when I reflect on that, that's what brings me joy. You feel me? She got killers on. Don't come on here, Corwin, acting crazy. But I really want to say, because I know so many people, I know so many people that do things just in the hopes I just want to make it. I just want to be famous. And not to say that you can't do that, but don't let that be your why. You feel me? People pick up on things when they're genuine. Let's say that you are an artist, right? And if you're just painting to get your art in a museum and that's the only reason you're painting, you're going to struggle because you're chasing money. But if you go deep within yourself and you're painting what's in your spirit, what's on your soul, it's going to come out that way. Just like on this podcast, I was talking to someone who I just met, and this was like a couple of hours ago. We were having a conversation, and it was like, she was like, yo, I listened to a little bit of your podcast, and I felt like what you were saying. Like, I can tell that's what you should be doing. Like, that's you. And I'm like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? But that's my whole reason for this platform is because we always, as a society, glorify celebrities. Listen, I'm trying, sis. We glorify celebrities. We glorify people who are rich and famous. We glorify motherfuckers like the Kardashians. No shade, no tea. You know what I mean? Shit like that. When there are people that you walk past every day, there are people that you talk to every day with talents, skills, resources that can change the world. But you're too busy glorifying somebody who made it when you don't realize the person next to you, y'all can make it together. You understand? And that's my purpose in this podcast. And I shout people out that I know because I got winners right in my circle. Whether they know it or not, there's winners right here with me. There's winners on this live right now. And I feel like it's my job to let them know. It's my job to pull it out of them. It's my job to let them know, like, yo, there's plenty of times when I don't feel like a winner. Like, yes, right now I got a few people telling me like, oh, this podcast is great. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You dropping gems, you teaching, you breaking barriers, you're doing this. But there are so many times, y'all, where myself personally, I don't feel like a winner. Perfect example. What's the time? It's 5:10 right now. About an hour ago, I was on the phone with my friend, and he was literally just filling me up. Because there's things that I'm still dealing with right now, and I'm like, I don't really know if I could do that. And he was like, listen, I'm letting you know, you got to remind motherfuckers who you are. And I feel like that's my purpose. And that is also a testament to the fact that none of us are perfect. I get on here and I tell people things. I give advice. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I don't take my own advice. Sometimes I play myself. Sometimes I let other people play me. You feel me? But understanding that the people in my circle are never going to just let me play myself and be cool with it. That's what I'm here for. You feel me? I want to be that person that my friends, that my family have been for me. You know what I mean? I know what it feels like to be low. I know what it feels like to feel like somebody who you care about and love about doesn't love you back. I know what it feels like to work really, really hard for something and not get it and feel like shit. you know? And so my whole reason for doing this podcast is to let people know, like, you might have not been shit then, but that don't mean you ain't gonna be shit forever. Ooh, I should put that on a t-shirt, right? But yeah, so that's my whole reasoning behind creating this platform. And whether or not I make it to 100,000 people watching me at one time, I'ma still get on here and talk to y'all. You feel me? And I'm gonna do the best that I can to reach as many people as I can. This podcast wouldn't have 9 people on it if somebody didn't tell you about it. This podcast wouldn't have 9 people on it if that one time I had 2 people on here with me, I got discouraged and was like, man, I only had 2 people on there. I ain't getting back on there. You feel me? It's like, nah, because those 2 people could tell 2 people who tell 2 people who tell 2 people, and now I got 9 people on my live. You feel me? You got to believe in yourself. And that's all I'm trying to get y'all to do. Okay? So I want to shout out my friends that's in the space and in the place because I'm never here alone. I see a lot of people in the chat. So I see Bree, I see Jay, I see Terry, Corwin. I don't know who else in here because y'all acting like y'all scared to type on the video. What's up, NJ? Who else on here? But yeah, y'all, like, we out here. What's up, KG? Right? You gotta bet on yourself. And even if I fall, even if this podcast fails miserably, guess what? It's an experience. I helped somebody. I got receipts of people texting me, calling me, even if it's not the most famous person. Even if, you know what I mean, I don't have a bunch of reviews on my Apple. You feel me? Somebody's going to benefit from it. And that's enough. You know, I feel like a lot of times we go and we search for the biggest accolades, right? We want a neon light with our names on it. But did you work for it? Did you earn it? You feel me? Did you shout out the person that helped you get the lights? And we forget that. You feel me? So you gotta be humble. You gotta be humble and you gotta understand. You feel me? I don't come from a rich family. Listen, my family from the hood. I come from a long line of killers, gangbangers, drug dealers. You feel me? And that's real. And I'm not joking, so don't try me. But you can't let your past be your story forever. It's a chapter. You feel me? Whether it was, I'm sorry if I trigger some people. That's not my intention. But you can't let your past be the story that you tell forever. You got to let it be a stepping stone. Whether it be you got molested, whether it be you were heartbroken, whether it be you had abusive parents, your friend, you know what I'm saying, was shiesty. You feel me? You got to let whatever happened to you be a part of your story. Don't let it become your whole life. Don't let one part of your life be your whole autobiography. And you did it, even if you touched one life. Job well done. And that's on period. You feel me? My mama said she liked it, so I don't care. My auntie called me and told me she liked it, so if y'all don't, that's on you, okay? You can't let your past be your story forever. I like that. New tattoo coming, period. And you better shout me out when you get your tattoo. Tag me in the tattoo when you get it. But anyway, that was preliminary, y'all. That ain't even what I came here to talk about. But I felt it. I felt the spirit. I felt the spirit from my wine glass and all that. Ooh, child, I'm getting high. But yeah, let's get into it. So I'm literally going to go through the title of each episode. Now, I'm not going to explain all 14 episodes because we'll be here till 8 o'clock tonight. And I got papers to grade and stuff. Because, you know, right. I still do have a career. Podcasting is not, like I told you, I ain't making no money doing this. So I got to do my job. But anyway, we're going to go through each episode. And I'm going to just kind of highlight what we talked about. And, yeah. That I'm reading comments, y'all. So friends who are listening on Apple, if y'all hear me pause, it's because I'm reading comments and my people be in the chat tripping. All right, so episode number 1. I don't even remember the date. I wish I remember the dates. I probably should have been more prepared. But don't grade the papers hot. I know I ain't got no sleeves. This ain't that type of party, so I can't take my sweater off. But I thought I was cute with this sweater. Anyway, so let's get, y'all, we got to stay focused. Okay, we got to stay focused. But episode 1 was called Head Start, right? And so when we started this podcast, I started talking about mental health. Because when I started it, I was coming out of a place where I have a whole lot of anxiety. You feel me? Um, y'all, okay, comments. Please keep them coming, but they distracted me because y'all wilding. Um, First episode was called Head Start, right? And that's where I opened up. Like, it was my first episode, and I talked about my mental health. I talked about how anxiety kind of psyched me out of starting a podcast. I talked about how to coach yourself through anxiety. You feel me? Coach yourself out of psyching yourself out, because oftentimes we convince ourselves, right? Our mind is the most powerful thing that you possess. Your mind is the most powerful thing that you possess. And part of me being a teacher is trying to bring that out of my students. It's like, whatever you tell yourself in your mind is going to manifest into the physical. So I had to literally tell myself, I set up my podcast equipment for a year, y'all. I promise, I'm not lying. My shit was set up for a year and I never recorded it because I was afraid, right? But I had to literally coach myself like, you can do this. You good. You know what you want to talk about. You know who you want to talk to, right? So that first episode was me telling y'all my business and telling y'all I was scary as fuck and I didn't want to do this, right? I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to be judged, right? Okay? Episode 2. Episode 2 was called Paint the Picture, right? And so in episode 2, it was all about visualizing yourself, right? Once you set yourself, your mind on a goal, you feel me? You know what you want to do. You have to see yourself there. So episode 2, Paint the Picture, and it was painting the picture of who you are at your best in your mind, right? If I want to start a podcast, I have to picture myself with the #1 selling podcast. I have to picture myself as a wife, because this finger empty, but I'm telling you I'm somebody's wife, okay? And you have to visualize yourself there. Who's there? And when I visualized it in episode 2, it was like you have to literally visualize in detail. What does he look like? You feel me? Who's around you? Who's there for you? You know what I'm saying? That was the whole basis of episode 2, was like, put yourself there. Wherever it is that you want to be, place yourself there in your mind and go there every single day. Every single day. Go to that place in your mind. You feel me? Oh, I'm getting work emails. What they talking about? Whatever. I'll look at it later. But yeah, like episode 2, Paint the Picture, was all about placing yourself mentally at your goal. If you were a rapper, baby, place yourself on tour. In your mind, place yourself on tour. You feel me? If you're a wife, baby, I didn't been to my wedding a bunch of times, okay? I don't know about y'all, but I done been to my wedding, okay? I done been to my wedding a lot. I go to my wedding all the time. You feel me? I just haven't gotten there yet. So that's all episode 2 was focusing on. And in the chat, because y'all over here trying to distract me, what are some places that you have visualized or that you're going to visualize yourself at? What's y'all goals? How y'all coming? Right? Because I'm over here telling y'all my business. And this is the People's Podcast, not Toya Tell Her Business podcast. Right? Episode 3. Episode 3 was called Brick by Brick. And that episode, my message was, get off your ass. Brick by brick, my message was get off your ass, right? So we've overcome our mental block, right? Dang, what happened? We've overcome our mental block. You feel me? We've visualized ourselves at our best. In episode 3, so now you got to get your ass up and make it. Manifestation is not all mental. And I hate when people try to make that the thing. Like, oh, if you can see it, you can do it. Yes, that's true. But what they say in the church house sometimes, work without faith. No, what they say in the church house, I got a lot of Christians on here. Faith without work is dead, right? Ain't that what y'all say in the church house? Same thing, right? I don't care how much you visualize. It's like, okay, I see it. Now I got to go get it. So episode 3, brick by brick is what it's called. I was telling you to get off your ass, and now you got to go get what you're manifesting. You feel me? Nobody's going to bring it to you. And I feel like when I say go get it, see, look, I knew it was a Christian in the house. Thank you, Bree. Faith without work is dead. So when we talk about that, though, you got to go and get what you want. Dang, hold on. Okay, there we go. You got to go and get what you want. And I feel like as I've been so reflective, right? Since starting this podcast, honestly, y'all been helping me help y'all help me, right? I know that was a lot. Keep up. But I've realized the difference between people who are successful and people who just are sitting on their talents is the work, right? So I can be an extremely talented speaker. I can be an extremely talented rapper. I can be an extremely talented, what else y'all be doing? Business owner, right? But unless I hone in on those talents, unless I work in those talents, work in my purpose, put forth the effort, sacrifice is a big deal when it comes to success. What are you willing to not get up. What are you willing to give up to get to where you want to go? Because if you're not willing to give up anything, you don't want it bad enough. You just talking and I ain't trying to hear it. Okay? Anytime friends come to me with an idea, it's like, okay, so what work we gonna do? Oh man, I don't really know. I don't really know if I could do it. Don't make excuses, make a way. I tell my students that all the time. Don't make excuses, make a way. Because if you want it, you gonna get it. You feel me? Okay? Yes, you gotta sacrifice. Bree said, oh Lord, the wine kicking in, Father, is. Lord, I thank you. Okay? Episode 4. Okay? So I'm trying to push through this. Episode 4 was called Get Her Done, right? And that episode focused on self-discipline. And so that's where the work part comes in. So now we done got off our ass, right? And so now it's time to be disciplined. You can't just do something one time and expect the result to be what you want. I couldn't have recorded one podcast episode and expected my shit to hit 100K tomorrow. No. Okay? You got to discipline yourself. If I tell somebody I'm going to do a podcast every Tuesday, then baby, I'm going to get on here every Tuesday. Okay? I don't care if it's 1 people, 2 people, 4 people, no people. Ooh, I should be Dr. Seuss writing assistant. Y'all heard that? 1 people, 2 people, no people, 4 people. Period. Anyway, you got to discipline yourself, right? The person who made it, I promise you, they were working when they didn't feel like it. Oprah Winfrey, I promise you she was working when she ain't feel like it. Tyler Perry, I bet you he done had a headache a couple times while he was writing. You feel me? Who else do we think is successful? Kobe. Y'all know I love Kobe. I'm pretty sure he did not felt like going to practice. Matter of fact, Michael Jordan, didn't he play a whole game with the flu? Stop playing with me. You have to discipline yourself. All those people could have set it out. Yes, you cannot go to work because you got a headache. But me, if you know me, if you work with me, friend is barely out. Friend don't take off. You feel me? Because I got things to do. And nobody's going to do my job the way I need to do it. Nobody's going to do anything the way I want it to be done. You feel me? I feel like that's where you have to discipline yourself. Even the things that you don't like. I've had jobs, y'all, and this is why I'm such a humble person. I've had jobs that I've absolutely hated, but I went because I had to. I used to work at a gas station, right? Hella ghetto. I used to work in fast food, hated it. I didn't want to be there, but if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't do that, I wouldn't have been able to pay college tuition sometimes. I done drove for Uber. I done worked on campus. All jobs that I hated to get to where I am now. Okay? And we have to stop thinking that celebrity life or being famous is the ultimate goal. It's not. You know? And I seen a post one time on Facebook. Y'all probably seen it too. And it was like, sometimes you have to sit yourself down and realize, like, I'm right in the middle of things that I prayed for years ago. You feel me? I wanted to be a teacher. 6 years ago, it was like, okay, I want to be a teacher. So now I find myself sometimes complaining about being a teacher. But since you prayed for it, you put the work in to get here. You worked to be a teacher. You didn't work to be a lawyer. You didn't put in the work to be something else. You put in the work that got you to be a teacher. So that's where you are. Be grateful. Now if you want to do something else, put in the work to be where you want to be. Right? It's not enough to say what you want. You got to do it. You get what you ask for. Okay? Let's see what y'all talking about in the chat. Hey, Camille. She said, don't make excuses, make a way. Stop yelling at me, Toya. And that's on period, because I'm going to keep yelling at you. I'm going to keep yelling. Because we ain't got time to lose. We've been losing a long time. You feel me? A lot of y'all have probably lost so much. Personally, I've lost a lot. I'm tired of losing. I am tired of losing. You feel me? I'm not losing no more. from this point forward, you have to decide that you're not losing. I'm not losing anymore. I'm only learning. Okay? Any L that I take is not a loss. It's a lesson. From this point forward, I'm done losing. When you feel like, or when you decide that you're a loser, that's how you live your life. Okay? I took an L, bro. I lost. Nah. I learned. I'm not losing no more. And neither are y'all, right? Y'all not losing either. We're no longer losing. You got to decide that you're not a loser anymore. You're just learning, okay? Where we at? Episode 5. Y'all, this going to be long. I don't know if I'm going to get through all these episodes because I still got to shout folks out. How long we been talking? We already been talking for 25 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to try to speed it up. Unless y'all don't mind me talking. And I'm about to run out of wine. I'm trying to sip all slow and cute. Whole time I feel like drinking this whole thing. I almost missed my lip. Hold on. All right, so episode 5 was called Why Are They So Lucky? And this episode, y'all, was real. I remember this episode because we had to admit that we be hating. I admitted that I be a hater sometimes, right? Episode 3 was called Why Are They So Lucky? Because all of us, and y'all too, don't be over here hating. Don't be over here lying. We've seen somebody win and be like, found a reason to kind of turn our nose up. Like, they ain't really deserve that. They ain't really doing it. But you was a hater. I was a hater too. But guess what? The difference between me and them is they did the work. Don't be a hater. Just step your game up. Right? That was episode 5. Episode 6. Episode 6 was one of my favorites. Right? That episode was called Who the Fuck Are You? Episode 6 was called Who the Fuck Are You? Right? In that episode, we talked about, what did we talk about? Knowing who you are, right? Getting good with you. I feel like oftentimes, and I'm telling my business, right? 5 was your favorite too. 5 was definitely lit because we had to own our shit, bro. We all be hating. We love to say like our haters. I got all these haters. Girl, you been a hater too. You didn't been work, or you could have been in the midst of working on getting where they going and they got there before you, and you be like, but they ain't even really do it the right way. They ain't, you hating, okay? We owned our shit in episode 5, okay? Episode 6, Why Are They So Lucky? Is, oh wait, no, I'm lying. Who the fuck are you? That's where we are. In that episode, we talked about finding yourself, right? You got to look within. If you notice, when you notice, because we all do it, that you out here hating on somebody, you gotta sit with yourself. Why you hating on them? Right? Instead of learning from them. Even if you got to do it quietly. You could be a quiet hater. You could be taking notes like, okay, you made it before me. This what you did? I could do it better. You feel me? Stop being a hater. Just go within, figure out who you are so that you can give it to the world. Okay? Stop hating. No hating 2021. Okay? It's a self-honesty for me. I got to keep it real because if you're not honest with yourself, you're giving everybody the liberty to bust you out. If you're not keeping it real with yourself, that's when we start to feel guilty. That's when we feel ashamed of things because you hiding. I had wrote down a quote. I was at work one time, y'all, and like my brain just be thinking of random quotes. I wrote it down and it said, hold on, y'all, I feel like I got a burp. Ooh, it's stuck in my chest. So if it come out later, don't judge me. But I had wrote a quote down at work one day, and in my mind it was, I don't want to live behind a curtain anymore because that's not where happiness is. I'm going to say that for y'all again. So we all want to be happy. We all want to be free. We all want to be, you know what I'm saying, open. You're never going to find happiness and freedom if you're living behind a curtain. Put your business out there. Because guess what? That means nobody can use it against you. If it's out there, nobody can throw it back in your face. Oh, I'm about to get real. Excuse my language. If there are any children under the age of 18, please get off of my live right now. Come back in about 2 minutes. But somebody call you a hoe. Oh, I heard she fucked so-and-so. I heard she had sex with this person. I heard she used to talk to him. And you be like, hell yeah, I talked to all of them and they all suck. The sex was terrible. They was stupid. It was a waste of my time. You're not behind the curtain no more because they know. It's like, okay, did you tell them that it was weak? When you going out here telling people you fucked me, did you tell them it was terrible? You know what I mean? Like, keeping it 100. Okay, y'all can have y'all kids come back now. I ain't gonna say nothing else like that. You know? So it's like, whatever, and we all have things that we're not proud of. And I'm not saying that when you do it, you come out right away, but sit with yourself until you're comfortable telling your business. Because guess what? Season 2, y'all gonna get to know me real well. Wait till season 2. Y'all gonna get to know. I've been keeping it cute season 1, but season 2, y'all gonna get to know me. You feel me? Because like I said, I don't want to live behind a curtain, because I'm not gonna get to where I want to go living behind the curtain, because I'm gonna be afraid of somebody being like, oh, but Toya, you just told them that you gave them this advice, but you remember when you was, and I'm be like, ooh, I was in my hot girl phase. I need you to keep that to yourself. Bring it out here. You know what I'm saying? My hot girl phase was lit, but that ain't y'all business right now. Anyway, moving on. Episode 7. That was the last episode of 2020, and y'all know 2020 was a hot mess. And I'm gonna be for real. Stop acting like y'all don't know, cause I be quick to tell my business. I think I talk too much. I tell my business too much, but I don't care. Shit, I'm still a wife. I'm still a wife in training, regardless of what happened to me before, regardless of what I've done before, regardless of who I've had sex with. You know, I'm still a wife in training. So it may not be yours, okay? So if my story turns you away, that just means I'm not your wife. Get out my husband's way. Right. I said what I said. Right? If my story bothers you, doesn't sit well with your spirit, that just means I'm not your wife, and I need you to get out my husband's way. Okay? Right. So, episode 7 was 2020 vision, and we really, in that episode, that was y'all played me on that episode. It was only like 2 of us on here. That was the episode that I had no people on here, but it was literally just a conversation about how fucked up 2020 was. Right? 2020 vision was not a great episode as far as like viewers and participators, but I just talked about the crazy shit that happened in 2020. 2020 was a terrible year for me personally. Well, no. Okay, so let me switch the narrative. It wasn't a terrible year for me. It was a lot of learning. I took a lot of L's in 2020 in my personal life, but even the world took a lot of L's. You feel me? But that was that. Episode 8 was a good one. And I think some of y'all was on here for episode 8. Episode 8 was make yourself uncomfortable. And we talked about the fact that if shit ain't working, if you're uncomfortable, that means you are growing. That means you need to move on to something else. You feel me? The analogy that I gave was, if your jeans too tight, right? That means you're growing. That ass is getting fat. That means you need to move on to something bigger and better. You feel me? If that relationship is uncomfortable, that's not your husband. That's not your wife. Tell them to get out your spouse's way. You got to move on to something bigger and better. You feel me? Episode 8 was lit. That was one of my favorites. It was like discomfort is a sign of growth. And no matter what the situation is, you feel me? Make yourself uncomfortable. And so I told y'all in that episode, like, be okay with discomfort. Welcome it. And accept it and analyze it and move on, right? Grabs wine. Please go grab your wine because I'm about to run out. Okay? Episode 9 was called Do Something. Episode 9, I remember it was y'all giving me advice. Okay? Episode 9 was called Do Something. And I was asking y'all, like, how do I get out of a rut? Because I was recording my podcast and I just didn't feel like doing it anymore. Y'all remember that? I was sitting there like, yo, I don't think I want to do this. And so episode 9, Do Something, was literally me asking y'all, like, what do I do to get out of this rut of not wanting to do it? And what we came up with was focus on your why. I had to return to my why. In episode 9, I had to reflect on why I was making a podcast. I had to reflect on who I was doing it for. It was bigger than me. I had to remind myself that my podcast was bigger than me. So even though I'm not feeling great, I had to remind myself at that point that there's somebody out there who feels worse than me. I had to tell myself in my mind, there's somebody out there waiting for Tuesday at 5 o'clock because they want to hear what I have to say. I had to step outside of myself and my own issues in episode 9 to sort of help you all. And then episode 10, dang, it ain't working. Episode 10, you all, was, what about your friends? Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down? So episode 10 was called What About Your Friends? And that episode was a tribute to my friends, and I love y'all. Some of y'all on here right now. It was just me shouting out the fact that, because I told y'all 2020 was a fucked up year for me. It was terrible, right? I took a lot of L's. But my friends kept me grounded. They kept me sane. You feel me? They brought me to my senses. They snapped me out of a lot of shit that I was tripping, y'all. Like, I was in a terrible space. But episode 9 was a tribute to my friends and just letting the world know, like, you need people. I don't care how much you try to, I don't need nobody. Everybody fake. Everybody a hater. I'll cut everybody off. I'm going to do it on my own. Nah, boo-boo. I need my friends. You feel me? And people that I lose, that just mean they're not meant to be my friends, okay? It was something else I wanted to mention about that episode, but y'all know how my brain is. I don't remember. What about your friends? What else we talked about? I need my friends. My friends are great. I forgot what else y'all love y'all friends? How y'all feel about y'all friends? But yeah, I don't remember what I was about to say to that. But episode 11. Episode 11 was called Check Yourself. And that was an episode of owning your shit. Okay? Check who you are to people. So I think, don't give me the line, but I think in that episode, hold on, I can't even see. I'm trying to see y'all comments on my computer, but Facebook not letting me be great from this MacBook. Let's see if it's because that charger is in there. I don't know. But episode 11 was about owning your shit. You feel me? Like, you have to own the things that happen to you. Right? And I think in that episode, it was kind of a, like, wake-up call. Like, as an adult, you can't keep blaming other people for the shit you get yourself into. As an adult, you choose the people you interact with. You choose the things you do. You choose your job. You choose your spouse. You choose your baby daddy. You choose your baby mama. You feel me? You choose the situations you put yourself in. So at some point, I think that episode was a lot about accountability. I'm trying to see y'all comments here because I can't see them on my computer no more. But not trying to sing the memory back. That's what I was trying to do for real. You talked about the roles in your life. Yeah, I did. Life is about choices. It is, y'all. I'm reading comments again, y'all, and I can't really see from my phone because I got y'all back there. But yes, all of that is true. We talked about the roles that you play in other people's lives too, I think. I don't know. 12 was a good one too. Episode 12 was called Pursuit of Happiness. And that episode, I think, I'm starting to draw a blank. And it's crazy how I'm not remembering the last 3 episodes. Like, come on, girl. Episode 13, Pursuit of Happiness, we talked about how, I might be lying, I don't know, go on Apple Podcasts and listen to it and let me know. See what I did? Shameless plug. But I believe in episode 13, we focused on happiness being your ultimate goal. Like, really sitting down with yourself and figuring out what makes you happy outside of money, outside of accolades, outside of recognition. What are the things that make you happy if you never got recognition for them? Ooh, that was gross, y'all. I'm so sorry, but it had to come out. But yeah, episode 13, Pursuit of Happiness, was about sitting with yourself to figure out what makes you happy and doing whatever the fuck makes you happy. Regardless of who says what, thinks what, does what, do you? Because guess what? You're the only person that you have to live with every day. You're the only person you have to tolerate every day. And that's exclusive to parenting. I mean, like, in your mind. You feel me? You're the only person that you have to sit with every day. So why not put in the work to make sure you're happy with yourself? You're the only person you have to live with every day. I love you so much. Please keep spreading positivity. Love you too, cousin. But yeah, it's like Pursuit of Happiness was fight for your happiness. Because you don't want to be in your own head, in your own space. And like people like me, like I live alone. I don't want to be in this bitch by myself and not be happy. Like, dang, I'm the only one here. You feel me? Like, make yourself happy by any means necessary. Whoever you need to cut off, whatever you need to cut off, whatever job you need to quit, do it. Because you have to live with yourself, and that's the most important relationship you can have. That and God. Okay? Period. Said what I said. Episode 13 was called Why Are You Here? Why are you here? And that episode was what is your purpose, right? So once you figure out what makes you happy, then you can start to walk in your purpose. You can start to chase your purpose. You can start to chase what it is that you want to do and who you want to be and what you want to become, right? And once you figure that out, once you're deciding that you want to walk in your purpose, ooh, trauma bonds. That's season 2. See, you jumping the gun, bro. Trauma bonds. You just triggered me. Thank you, NJ. I'm triggered now. But yes, trauma bonds is going to be a whole episode in season 2 because, baby, Jesus. Anyway, I'm talking about why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? You have to walk in your purpose. You have to fight to figure out what your purpose is. Take away, and those of you that are new here, I always give something called heart work, which is like journaling exercises to pull yourself into reality. But why are you here? I believe, and I could totally be lying, but you should go back and listen to the episode yourself. But why are you here? I think I had us write down all the things that we feel like we're here to do. And the challenge that I gave you all in making that list was taking away things that you get paid for, taking away things that have to do with relationships with other people. But what are you here to do? I think that was the hard work for that episode, okay? Whew. Episode 14, which was the last one last Tuesday, it was called What Do You Want? Okay? Now why are you here? We know why we're here, right? If you did the exercise for that episode, you figured out why you're here, what your purpose is. But now it's like, what do you want? What do you want out of this? Now that I'm walking in my purpose, now that I've started this podcast, now that I see that people are listening to this podcast, now that I see that people are receiving the messages that I'm giving from the podcast, what do I want out of it? That's when you start to think big picture. That's when you start to think like my name in neon lights, okay? I fulfilled my purpose in reaching people, even if it's 4 people. What I say, 1 people, 2 people, 4 people, no people. Whether it's 4 people, I've reached my purpose. Now it's what do I want from it? What do I want walking in my purpose to get me? Okay? And that was the goal of episode 14, was working to fulfill your purpose completely. Okay? And then here we are, episode 15, and we talking about using it. What's the name of this episode I told y'all? Ready for whatever, right? So now that you've done all the things, or you will go back and listen to all 14 episodes, and you've done all the hard work, you've sat with yourself, you figured yourself out, and now this episode is me telling you that you are ready for whatever. You're ready to address whatever. You're ready to address whoever. You're ready to do whatever, because everything is aligned to your purpose. Everything is aligned to your vision, right? We cannot fulfill our destiny basing it on outside influences, right? This episode, Ready for Whatever, if you do the things that me and my friends on Facebook have outlined for you the past 14 episodes, you ready for whatever. You ready to move into the next phase, you feel me? But understand that me telling you you ready for whatever, that means you're going to get a whole lot of bullshit. You're going to be tested more, you feel me? You're going to be challenged more. You're going to have a whole lot more lessons. Because remember, after you listen to all 14 episodes in the past, we're not losing. We're no longer taking L's. We're learning lessons. So from this point forward, you're going to get challenged. Okay? I don't know who said this quote, but to whom much is given, much is requested. Okay? You overcame this challenge. Now I'm requesting a bigger challenge for you. You feel me? You don't reach greatness by completing the same task over and over again. And I think personally, that's why I don't feel like I can stay in one thing for a long time. Because it's like, I've met this challenge. What's next? You know what I mean? And that's just how life works. Like, we try to manipulate and take control over how life naturally goes. We try to take control over the natural flow of life, right? Once you accomplish something, you have to move on to the next. You understand? I can't go back to being a baby. I've been a baby before, okay? I can't go back to undergraduate college. I got my degree already. I'm about to plug myself in. Well, no, that's not true. I was about to say I can't go back to grad school because I got a master's already, but that's not true. I could get another master's. Anyway, erase that idea out of your mind. You can't go back to, hold on, I'm trying to think of something because I just threw myself off. When you want greater for yourself, you face new challenges. For example, this is no shade, no tea. I love being a teacher. But it's like I worked so hard to become a teacher, and I'm a teacher, and I do a damn good job at it. Now, I'm wondering what's next. I want a new challenge. I can do this. You feel me? Am I perfect at it? No, but I can do that. What else can I do? What's next? Okay? You feel me? Just the reason that I'm ending this season. It's like, okay, I overcame the challenge of being afraid to do a podcast. I can do a podcast. It can reach the people I needed to reach. Now my next challenge is, how do I get it to be bigger? And that's going to be a struggle, right? There's going to be new challenges. So this episode being called Ready for Whatever is just a reminder that, yes, you're ready for whatever, even the challenges that are going to come, because they will. What's next? Go, 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 go. Who's next? Y'all remember that? That was early in the pandemic when we had that little meme going. But yeah. Here we are, episode 15, and I'm asking you what's next, and I'm telling you that you're ready for whatever, okay? So, shout out to y'all for joining. I'm about to try to look at... Andrew said, I mean, if we're going to talk about it, talk about it. We're going to talk about it, but I got to be ready for that, because I ain't ready yet. Right, so it's like, what's next? What's next? What's next? You're going to be faced with challenges, okay? So, yeah, that's all I got for the heavy stuff. But now here's one of my favorite parts. So I have a part in my podcast. If you are new here, this part of my podcast is called Plugged In. Because I'm the plug. You feel me? This mic, I'm the plug. And so I have two, well, really three people, but two things that I want to shout out. So every week on Universal Teas, remember, this is the People's Podcast, not Toya's podcast. My name is nowhere on my podcast logo for a reason, because it's about people. And like I said, I want to reach out to people. I want to motivate people. I want to connect people. Networking is a large part of who I am, and I want to provide resources. So I'm going to shout some people out, and I'm going to... My computer, I usually type it on my computer, but it's being stupid right now, so I don't think I can do that. But I'm still going to shout them out. So the first person that I want to shout out is my good sis. Her name is Bree Wade. She been on here snapping, y'all, and talking crazy, too. But I wanted to shout out Bree Wade because from the moment I met her, so we met each other when I was working out. I ain't worked out in a long time. But we used to work out together. And her energy and her spirit was just so light and so beautiful and so encouraging. Like, even when I would come to work out and she would be like, can I share your cast? Absolutely. Share it now. Share it now. But no, Bree's energy is just light and it's warm. And even though me and her don't talk on a daily basis, you know what I mean? We've only had a certain amount of encounters, but the energy is mad real. And with it being Women's History Month, both of the groups that I'm shouting out are female. But Bree in particular has 1, 2, 3, 4 different endeavors that I'm about to shout out. But she's just an amazing woman, and I just sort of watch her on Facebook. Like, the things that she posts are motivating. She's always paying it forward. She's a woman for women. If I had to describe her, she's definitely a woman for women. I definitely see a lot of strength in who she is. You feel me? And her being a mother, her being an entrepreneur, her being an author, things like that. So, Bree, hey girl. So the first thing I want to shout out, she is a published author, and I ain't even gonna lie, I ain't get my copy of the book yet, but I will, I promise. But her book is called Dear Black Son. And it's a tribute to black and brown boys and just motivating them to be who they are, and to let them know that they are powerful in this world, that they are necessary, that they are needed. And we know we need that, right? Our black men and our black boys, we need to cultivate them and motivate them to be who they are and who this world needs, because all the time we think about black men, you all know how America is. America's shitty. You feel me? And they treat black boys like they're a threat to society. Well, honestly, a black man is the foundation of society. And that's on period. The next business that Bree has is called Kingdom Kids Learning Academy. Basically a child care service that she has. I don't know all the details, but I do see like her post about it. You feel me? So if you need childcare, even job opportunities, I believe she has some. I'm sorry if I lied about you hiring, but they gonna ask you regardless. But yeah, Kingdom Kids Learning Academy. Another one that I think is amazing. That she has, because I told y'all she's also a mother. It's called Motivating Mothers, right? And so it's supporting moms and motivating moms and pushing moms to be their best, because we all know, well, I don't know because I ain't nobody mama, but from what I heard, motherhood is difficult. It's a difficult transition. So this is an organization that I feel is necessary and needed. And you know what I mean? I told you I'm somebody's wife, but one day I will also be somebody's mother. So I hope that this is a foundation that's still around when I do become a mom, because, you know, we need that type of thing. And with it being Women's History Month, we definitely need things like that. Last thing, my good sis is also an automotive sales professional. So if you need a new whip, and since I might be coming to you in a couple years, because me and my car, we be barely making it, okay? But she paid for it, okay? My car paid for it, but we struggling. We've been through a lot. But she's also into automotive sales. So please hit up Miss Bree Wade here on Facebook and connect with her, because she is an amazing spirit. And I just wanted you to know that personally, because even though we don't talk, I definitely see you and I feel your spirit through the posts that you make and the things that you do. And I'm so proud of you. And I wish you all the best. And yeah, when you have a spirit like yours, you're destined for greatness, for sure. The next group that I want to, well, it's not a group. It's two ladies. So y'all know this is the end of episode 1. I mean, damn. What am I even talking about? This is the end of season 1 of my podcast. So I will be gone for a few weeks. But if y'all still want the tea, if y'all still want a great podcast with great vibes with some amazing black queens, I highly suggest you go and listen to Perfectly Flawed Podcast. And this podcast is hosted by Kai and Ashley. They're two women who are amazing. And I actually was a guest on their podcast maybe a month ago. I was a guest on their podcast, and it was such a dope vibe. The conversations are amazing. They keep it 100. And trust me, I know bullshit when I hear it. I would not promote something that I didn't, that I wouldn't listen to or be involved with myself. But Perfectly Flawed Podcast is definitely the shit. You feel me? It's encouraging. It's motivating. It's raw. It's real. You feel me? And I definitely love both of the ladies that are the hosts of that podcast. So in the meantime, while you're waiting on me to come back, and after you've caught up on all my episodes, go ahead and listen to Perfectly Flawed Podcast, because those ladies are dope and they are doing a damn thing. Okay? That's all I got for y'all. Thank you for listening, because I promise I don't care that there's 7 people on here, because I know one day it'll be 700. Okay? But dead ass, do whatever you're afraid of. Don't let fear stop you, y'all, because if I let fear stop me, I wouldn't have 8 people on here right now. You know what I mean? And find yourself and find your purpose. And when you start to work in that, that's when doors open. You know, don't chase fame. Don't chase money. Don't chase clout. Chase yourself. Chase God. You feel me? Chase peace. Chase prosperity. And all of the other things will fall into place as they should. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close us out, because I ain't got no more wine, so we really got to go. All right, so thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been episode 15 of Universal Teas, the People's Podcast. If you have not ever joined us, please, when season 2 starts, make sure you join me every Tuesday at 5 p.m. on Facebook Live, because this podcast would not be what it is without you, and we can't grow unless you help me do that. So I will talk to y'all in a few weeks. Love y'all. Bye.